Joining us right now is Dr. Barbara Perry, the Director of Presidential Studies at the University of Virginia's Miller Center, where she co-directs the Presidential Oral History Program. Dr. Perry, we appreciate your time with us this evening. Kind of give us your reaction to the news of Jimmy Carter's passing.
My reaction, first of all, is personal before I get to my presidential scholar hat that I put on. And that is that he was the first president I could vote for. 1976 was the first presidential election I was eligible by age to vote for, and I cast my first presidential vote for him. I had seen him speak in Louisville, Kentucky, my hometown where I am for the holidays. In 1975, he had been here at a mini convention, they called it, for the Democratic Party with 8 others who were vying for the nomination that year. And they were all much better known. I knew them as senators and ambassadors and members of the House of Representatives. And I didn't really know Jimmy Carter. He was Jimmy Who at that time. But I remember being really impressed with him and thinking that if he became president, he might be pretty good, but that how could he possibly get the nomination? And then I decided I wanted to go to his inauguration. So I did. It was freezing cold. It was so cold the Potomac River froze. And so I froze, but I was warmed by his bringing to, and now I put my professor's hat on, and he brought to this country a stability after the Watergate scandal that we very much needed. And if he did nothing else in his presidency, he should be remembered for that.
I want to talk a little bit about his time in office, which he was met with incredible odds and incredible challenges while in office. Many historians have assorted a divided view in terms of what his presidency represents and kind of the challenges that he dealt with and how he dealt with them. What are some of the takeaways that you look at when you consider his legacy while in office?
Right. So, in addition to righting the ship of state and being transparent and not lying to the American people as he promised, he also has in the win column things like the Camp David Accords, bringing together Israel and Egypt. Really, for the first time since Egypt and Israel had been fighting each other since the establishment of Israel in 1948. So to bring Anwar Sadat, the head of Egypt, and Menachem Begin, the head of Israel, together and get them to shake hands and move forward with a peace accord, we can see how important that was because we know what a problem we face now in the Middle East when there is war. Also, he was the first president really to engage in energy conservation. He put solar panels on the White House roof. He told us to drive more slowly, lower our thermostats, don't use Christmas lights. And that didn't go over very well with the American people. But again, we look back and say it was important for us to conserve energy. Now, on the debit side, of course, the bad economy, and that's no doubt what caused him to lose in a landslide to Ronald Reagan in 1980. We had rampant inflation up to 16, 17%, which meant that's where home prices were for people who wanted a mortgage would be 15, 16%. And then the Iranian hostage crisis, whereby student radicals, Islamic radicals in Iran broke into and overtook our embassy in Tehran and took over 50 American hostages. And only in the final moments of Jimmy Carter's presidency was he able to get their release. So those two things particularly caused him to be defeated. But his post-presidency is the model that all presidents now, at least until Donald Trump, are following to try to continue their work for the good of the American people and the good of the world.
35 years with Habitat for Humanity. People in D.C. even know of the 2 houses that he helped construct here in the region. Certainly an impact that is being felt far and wide. Thank you so much, Dr. Perry. We appreciate your time this evening.